Blender set up with a new Sketchfab plugin so we can have fun adding all of our 3D models to our setup. So here we go. So all right, guys. First things first, as we talked about before, if you didn't see in the first video, we need to get Sketchfab, the plugin downloaded from GitHub, and then we need to get that installed here under your preferences, and then you get your add-ons done. But let's keep going. If it's not enabled, remember just to go to add-ons under preferences, and you can check this box here, and it'll enable that window over here on the right side, okay? And once you get done doing that part, then we're going to go ahead and click Activate Add-on. And this will get you kind of logged in to Sketchfab with your account that you created earlier on the first video. And then we can type in what we were before, F16 Eagle. Okay, and here's our little low poly free Eagle planes. I think those look pretty neat. Let's go ahead and import the model now. It'll count up to 100 for 100%. Okay, now, so I figured out what the issue is, guys. So if you're over here and it has, okay, so we're looking at the settings over here, and this is the render button, right? And before I was able to put these in, so we had this starts off starting in Eevee, right? And if you use that, it looks like it wants to work, but on some machines it's not working for people. So I just want to be sure that we get the setting right really fast. So you'll get this error, right? It says Blender EV Next Workbench Cycles. I got some stuff from Claude here that said that it was probably due to a mismatch in versions. But I also realized that if we just switch to cycles, okay, this is also where you can switch to your GPU or your CPU. I'm going to use GPU, but you can use either one, okay? And then once that's switched, you can click this importing again that gave you the error, and boom, there we are. Okay. And since from the last video, I switched, so you'll see here, because we have some models that are pretty big and they're kind of far away, they'll start to disappear if you zoom too far out, right? So if we change under view right here, if we just make the clip end either 10,000 or 100,000, now it really opens up our view space. We can see all the planes in their nice little glory, and it looks really cool. And these all came from the Sketchfab plugin. All we did was just type in this deal, and now we have them in the world, right? Okay, so now they don't look really cool. They don't have a lot of pretty, like there's some in here that are going to have textures on them and some that aren't. Okay, so what we can do here, so instead of saying F16 Eagle or something like that, we'll just say F16. Okay, now we're talking. Check it out, guys. All right, I think that one looks nice. So let's do that. So we're going to take these now. Go ahead and just select them with left click, right? You hit the delete key on your keyboard and it's gone. It's that simple. And then sometimes it's good if you come down here after you delete objects, you need to go down to cleanup and do purged unused data. And see, it's saved all the data for the camera, the light, and the message, but we're not going to need those again for all the planes that we didn't want. So if you hit delete here, it cleans up your data space in the background. So where whenever you export this to make an animation or something else, the it's not going to have the stuff on it that you don't want, like any leftover polys or anything like that. So let's do it again. Okay, so we're going to click this. We know that we can pick any of these that we want. These are all the free ones that are downloadable on Sketchfab. So we'll click this one. And we're going to go ahead and go back down here and say import model. And it's really good if you look at the faces and the vertices that are inside the model. The smaller the model, the faster it'll load. So that's why this says low poly. But there's different options here, man. I mean, some of these that you'll find, see this one here is 176,000 faces. So depending on which one you want to play with, it's easy to load these in. But remember that the bigger the model and the more the faces, the longer it'll take to load inside your environment when you're trying to show this to somebody in the future. So as we can see, this one's a lot smaller, but still has all of the cool little detail, right? Now, here's the next part. If you hold down Shift while you're holding the middle mouse button to move things around, okay? We're going to hold Shift, and that gives you the ability to pan. When you let it go, it kind of gives you the ability to roll. You see what I'm saying? And you can also use these cool little buttons here if you want to be able to move it around like that. And then, but you always use Shift and the middle mouse button to move it, or you can use the pan button and just move your mouse like this, okay? So it's easy to kind of get positioned right where you want to. All right, awesome. So now, do you want to see it like this? I think I do. So we're going to go up here, and these little buttons are the different levels. Like you can make it wireframe, so we know that it doesn't have any textures, shaders, or solid pieces in it, so we can see through it if we need to, which it kind of looks pretty neat. You can see that this has a really good design. Okay, and then we go to the one that it was on, and this is called viewport shading, so you can easily view and manage a lot of models in here at once without having to load all the shaders and causing that to use up your resources in your computer if you're trying to work on a big scene at once, right? So anyway, we'll go to the next one. Now, what this one is it's the in between, right? So it's like you get some of the shaders, you get some of the lighting, but it's not going to be where it's fully rendered. But then whenever you're ready to fully render it, you can push this button and it'll give you the full on. But here we go. Okay, so let's go back to our first button here. So you can see here, we don't have a direct lighting source. It's just using a lighting source that will make it easy to see. So when you save it now, or if you were to export this bad boy, right, and you had it looking like this, it's going to look like this when you export it because it depends on what kind of light you have in the scene, if that makes sense. So just to give you an example, if we wanted to double click right here, or right click, I'm sorry, whoops, go to add here, and then you say, I want to add a new light to the deal here, and let's go ahead and make it a sunlight so we can act like there's real light in the scene. So then it drops the sun in here for us, right? And we just grab this little sun here, and let's move it to where it's in a good spot for us, right? We'll grab the sun. Let's see if we can get it to select. It may not even be necessary. I think this might even stay right here for right now. But if you can see, whatever direction this goes is the direction that the sunlight casts onto the model. So you can really get a good picture and see what it looks like. If you just kind of click off anywhere off the screen, it'll unselect it so you can really see how cool this thing really looks. I'm impressed for a very low poly and fast loading F16. Pretty. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of leave the video here. I hate to cut it so short, guys, but I want to get everybody up to speed and be able to do it in really quick videos so everyone knows where we're at, where we're going, and what's next. Okay. So now we have gotten the Sketchfab models. We've unplugged the Sketchfab plugin. We've got a sexy looking F16 ready to rock and roll for our Eagles. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. Until the next one, fly high, Eagles.